Big yawn. Right, okay, it's 8 o'clock. I'm going to start sharing my screen. And let's get started. Okay, guys, so this week you've noticed that I've made a few videos, and I put a few videos out about how to set up the trade alerts and how to actually place trades. Now, for the guys of you, can you do me a favor? Tess, can you mute your phone, please? Because there's tons of background noise.
Sorry.
Okay. So, because we've had tons and tons of new people, we've had lots of new people joining, and we've lots of people who have been around for a while but still haven't actually set these trade alerts up or anything else. So I decided, well, Simon asked me if I would do a video, first of all, about setting up the trade alerts, and then he asked me to do one about actually placing trades, and then we moved on to, could I place a video about how to actually set and create an account with a Forex broker. And all the messages were all coming through, so I decided, okay, we'll do them. Now, I've actually put them all on one page on the $1 Million Secrets website, $1millionsecrets.online website, so you can actually find them all in one place. But what I want to do right now is go through the whole thing again right now, particularly for the likes of the new people. We have Femi on today, we've got Bill on today, and I know we've got other people who may be clicking in. Well, we've actually, since I've gone full screen, I can't see, but I can see the numbers are going up, so we've got more people on as well. So for the new people that are on who haven't yet set their trade alerts up and don't know how to do it, I'm going to go through it step by step right now. Now, the whole point of this, as you can see on your screen right now, I said your questions answered. This is not like our typical Wednesday call. So if you have a question, then feel free to ask. Don't type it in because I can't see it. Don't click on waving your hand or anything else like that. If you have a question, then unmute yourself and ask me, and I will answer your questions as best I can. Okay? So let's get started. So first and foremost, the Telegram trades. The Telegram trades have transformed our business in the last 2 months. And for the new people who are on the call, I'll put you a little bit in the picture. I got started with Kuvera about 14 months ago, 15 months ago, January the 1st, 2018. At the time, we didn't have, we had Forex, we had FX1, but we were getting occasional alerts. We had a product called Rise that would do an awful lot of trading for you on an automated basis. I can hear someone's, if anyone there's not muted, then can you mute yourself, please, because I can hear noise in the background. So when we were started this time last year, we were getting occasional signals through, and they were hit and miss. Some were making wins for us, some were successful, but they weren't consistent. And over the last 12 months, we've gone through a variety of different products that we've rolled out that all led with great promise, but didn't quite come to the same level of fruition that these Telegram trades are getting us. These Telegram trades are getting us astonishing results, because with these trades, we actually have people that are making regular money week in, week out, and day in, day out. People are making daily money with this. So I'm going to show you how to set these alerts up first and foremost. And it starts off by literally having everything coming through to your fingertips on a daily basis. And it starts with this app. Now, I know if I can just have a quick peek and see who we have on. Yeah, we've got Patrick on the call. Patrick called me probably an hour ago, and Patrick said he wasn't quite sure how you actually set these things up. So Patrick, this is the bit that specifically you're going to be interested in, and this is getting the Telegram app on your phone. Until 2 months ago, I'd never heard of Telegram as an app. when I met with Joe Martinez over here in Liverpool a couple of months back, and he told us they were doing Telegram alerts, I thought they were going back to the old-fashioned days and sending a guy knocking on your door with a telegram. We'd never heard of it at all. But Telegram's actually, in many ways, superior to WhatsApp. With WhatsApp, the most people that we can put in any individual group is 256 people. With Telegram, we can put 25,000 people. In fact, we put 250,000 people into a group so we can send this message out to the masses. So the first place you want to go is to this website. It's telegram.org. And once you go on it, you'll see the homepage there at the top. Click on apps. Once you click on apps, you're going to get a choice of apps. You can put it directly onto your laptop, and if you scroll down, you can also put it onto your Mac as well. Or you can go to Google's Google Play Store or to Apple's App Store, and you can install it on your phone there. Once you've put it on your phone, you can actually have the same app going to your phone, to your iPad, and to your laptop all at the same time, so that all the messages are everywhere where you have access to them. And their simplicity in itself. Once you've actually installed it, just a question of just click that, install it, put your telephone number in, and you can start messaging. Once you put the telephone number in, it's going to send you a little code that you put in just to confirm that it's going to the right telephone number. That's it, job done. Now we need to link Telegram to Kuvera. So here's what you're going to do. Once you put your telephone number in and you've got that connected up, it'll then turn around and it'll say you've actually just had, it says here that you've entered the code that you've received in your Telegram app. That's because I'm actually installing this on my computer and I've already got it on my phone. So if I put my telephone number in there, it gives me a private code that I put in and I can put it on the two places. And now you get Telegram set up looking exactly like this. Now once it's in there, you need to log into your back office. So go to Kuvera and you go to office2.mykuvera.biz #/login. You can find it much more simply by just going to yourname.mykuvera.business or mykuvera.biz and then just click in login there. But once you're in, excuse me, sign up there. I'm going to sneeze. No, I'll try not to sneeze. So once you've registered, you're going to go into your back office. And this was actually set up on one of my distributors whilst I was doing this video for someone else the other day and setting this up. To connect Kuvera to your back office, you need to go to My Products on the left here and then go to FX1. Once you click into FX1, you get this. So you get Forex. For some reason, they put the alerts for the Forex alerts under binary options. So you're going to click on one here for binary options. And once you do that, you can click on 3, which is register for binary events. Once you've clicked on that, your screen's going to change again. And you can see here, binary options registration. And here, click on Telegram links, all Telegram channels. Now, that's the magic button. Once you click that, you can see this link. And this link says, the Telegram alerts is, click here to join the Telegram channel. Click on that. It's going to ask for your telephone number. You put that in, and you will get a message coming through to you on Telegram. And it will say, open Telegram. It gives you the option now to open it on your laptop or on your phone, whatever it is. But once you open it, you're going to see Kuvera FX bot. Once you actually get the message from the Kuvera FX bot, you're going to get this message. And it says, please pay for your subscription to access the channels. Now, if you're registered with the company, so you've already set yourself up right now, you've signed up as a distributor, you're already registered, you've paid your subscription. Your subscription is a monthly subscription, but for some reason or other, it doesn't recognize it straight away. There's a button underneath that says buy subscription. Ignore it. Do nothing with it. What happens is these have to be manually instructed at Kuvera's head office. The instructions all come through, but bear in mind that if you click on that right now at 8 o'clock on a Sunday night, no one's going to get into Covera's office until 9 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow. So it's going to be early afternoon tomorrow before Covera will actually see that and activate your signals. So you're not going to see them activated until the early part of tomorrow afternoon. So don't panic about it. But once they've got it, it'll be activated. Once it's activated, the message changes. And the message simply says, and I thought I'd actually got that screen there, but I haven't. The message changes, and here where it says Covera FX bot, it will then have another message in here, and it will say that you have a number of channels available, and there are 5 channels for you to choose from. There's only 2 channels that are relevant to you. Covera Beta, channel Beta, and Covera channel Gamma. And they're both the Forex channels. The other 3 channels offer binary options. And a matter of 5 or 6 months ago, binary options were made illegal in Europe by the EU, so we can't use the binary options. To be honest with you, I was never a huge fan of binary options anyway, because it's immensely risky, and I'm not into taking risk. So you're going to just register with the 2 Forex channels. Now, although there are 2 Forex channels, the majority of the trades only come through on channel Beta. And some of the other people who place trades more regularly as well will be able to confirm that it's quite rare to actually see anything coming through on channel Gamma. The majority of them are all coming through from Beta. Would everyone agree? Nod and say yes. Give me some backup, thank you. Right. Okay, so channel Beta. Channel Beta, that's going to see where your signals are coming through. Once you've done that, we need to then get you set up with a broker. Now, this bit's important. And again, I was having a conversation with Patrick a short while ago about brokers. Covera will not recommend any individual broker. From a compliance point of view, we're not allowed to. And from a personal point of view, we have no connection with these brokers. We actually have to you can't place trades on Forex unless you go through a broker. But because those guys charge a commission, we don't want to get involved with making any recommendations. I am, however, going to show you the broker that I use. There are others around, but I use IC Markets. Feel free to use that. Feel free to ask others in this call. I know there are other people in this call that use LCQ FX or LCD FX. It's LCQ, isn't it? LCQ FX, there are people that are using AvaTrade. There are people that are using Forex.com. There are a multitude of brokers to choose from. I personally use IC Markets. That's my choice. I think it's generally within our group probably the more popular choice, and that's because there are so many of us using it, and we're all having reasonably good we're actually having very good experiences with them. But please don't see anything on this as a recommendation. You're free to use whoever you wish. But for the sake of setting this up right now, I'm going to show you how you set up with icmarkets.com. So first and foremost, you're going to go to icmarkets.com and click on Start Trading. Now, once you actually register with them, you fill in your personal details here, and you're going to get an email saying live account details. Something I should just mention, I didn't go through that process because I've already registered the account, but when you go through the personal details, it's going to ask you for your name, it's going to ask you for your address, and ultimately it'll ask you for your credit card detail. Two choices you're going to have to make. First of all, it will ask you what type of an account you want. You must choose a true ECN account. ECN is Electronic Communication Network. Okay, I'm not going to get into a long-winded explanation of what it is. It's the most secure sort of Forex trading network, so make sure you choose true ECN. The second thing is your ID. Because of money laundering, you have to submit ID, and you have to submit photo ID and a proof of address. That will be driving license or passport for your photo ID, and then bank statements or utility bills, something like that, dated within the last 90 days. You can start trading straight away even without those, but you won't be able to withdraw any money until you've actually supplied that information. So you must put those in. So once you've done that and you set it up, you're then going to get an email from them. You're going to get 2 emails from IC Markets. The first thing that you're going to see at the top is the email subject will say MT4 live account details. The second email is your registration for the website. So you've got a registration for your live account and a registration for the website. You need to make sure you do not get the 2 confused. For setting up the broker and the app on your phone, you need the live account details. And on here you will see a number of things. First and foremost, it will say your username. It'll then see your password, and the most important thing is the server. And the server for me on this one is IC Markets Live 14. Okay, IC Markets actually have 16 live servers, and they probably have about 4 or 5 dummy servers as well, demo servers as well. So you have to choose the correct one. And in a few minutes, I'm going to take you through the setup on the app, and I'll show you where that's relevant. But make a note of these numbers, and I just jot them down on a piece of paper so you've got them safe when you come out of it, because if you're doing everything on your phone, you're limited. So now you're going to go and install MetaTrader 4 on your phone. We also call it just MT4 for short, and that's the app where you're going to place your trades. So sticking to iPhone, because that's what I've got, we go to the App Store and you type in MetaTrader 4. And you will see here, type in MetaTrader 4, you do not put MT5 in. You might think that MT5 is more advanced, and it certainly has some different features, but it's not compatible with what we're doing. So you want to install the MT4 app. Once you've put the MT4 app on, you then get some options. And I'm going to show you this, the sign for the app itself across the bottom, the settings for the app itself across the bottom, because there are some icons across the bottom. You need to understand what they all do. So the first one is settings, and we're going to use that in a minute to actually set the server up. But oh, in fact, I changed this slide around. I've linked a couple of different videos together to make this one for you, but I tried to make this flow a little more logically here. So we're going to set the accounts up now. So click on settings and then open new accounts. Once you go into new accounts, you're going to have to type in for your broker. In MT4, this will search every Forex broker. Okay, so if you have AvaTrade, you can put Ava in there. If you have Forex.com, you can put Forex.com in there. In this instance, we're putting IC Markets. And you can see, as I said here, that goes right through to Live 16. So pick the correct server. For me, that's IC 14 or Live 14. And then you just put in your username and your password. That's it. Once you've done all of that, we're ready to go. Why is that all important? The reason it's important is because now you're free to start trade. And once you start trading, you've got access to all the kind of results that we heard last week on the call. Things like Tony saying she'd made £156 a day, Hugh saying he made £500 in a day. You saw that Cynthia on this one, Cynthia last week said that she'd made 877 for a week. She's actually beat that this week. So she's out for new profits all the time and bigger messages. So once you've actually set those up, you're good to go. Now, once your Telegram trades have been approved by the company, then you're going to start getting messages through that look like this. So they're Forex Trade Team Beta for the majority of the app, the messages that come through. When they come through, the first thing that you're going to notice is that some of them are in English or recognizable as English. Some of them are coming through in Spanish. The majority of the traders that we have are based out of Mexico and Latin America, and they're all Spanish speakers. I've had people say, is it possible to get it translated into English? Well, no is the short answer, because that's the language they speak. They're just sending it in their own language. These guys are not paid directly by Kuvera. These guys are talented traders who are offering their services to Kuvera. And they work on a commission-only basis with Kuvera. What happens is Kuvera funds their accounts, and they get to keep half of any profits that they make for Kuvera. So from their point of view, they have to be profitable, and that's why we're now getting such good results. Because if these guys aren't any good, they're not making any money. So the trades that are coming through, yes, they're coming through on Spanish. You're going to have to figure out how to translate them. There's very little to translate, and I'm going to talk you through it so you'll understand most of these. But if there's anything that you don't understand, it's very simple. Touch into the message with your finger and highlight it until you get a menu that comes up that says copy it. Copy it. Once you've copied it, go to Google Translate, which you can get either from a Google browser window on your phone, or you can put the app on your phone. It's free. And then just paste the message in there and you get the English translation. But these are very, very simple alerts because there's only a few pieces of information that you need to know. Now, when I make a trade, I've done it in the past where I've tried to remember things, but you're switching backwards and forwards out of windows, trying to copy numbers down, everything else. I don't do it. So here's what I do. When a trade comes through, I simply write them down on a piece of paper in a notepad. So we'll take this one at the bottom, and this bottom trade is NZD USD. You'll need to get used to the abbreviations. So NZD is the New Zealand dollar to the US dollar. You will always see these things listed in pairs. The only exception that you will see is if we get a trade for gold. When we get a trade for gold coming through, the majority of the trades for gold that come through just say XAU, and they are always placed against the US dollar. If it just says XAU, it comes, or AUX rather, it goes against the US dollar. Occasionally, last week we saw some that were placed against, was it Canadian dollar I think we saw them against, or Aussie dollar? We saw one place last week that was against that, and it actually had us all stumped until we found that MT4 only allows you to place against gold against either the euro or the US dollar. But some companies, LCQ FX, place against a number of different currencies. You'll find them under metals, but they're really quite rare. So let's just stick with currency pairs. So currency pairs go New Zealand dollar to US dollar. Here's what you need to write down. Write down the currency and write down the signal, whether it is a buy or a sell. So you can see this one is buy, this one above, Canadian dollar to the Japanese yen, and that's a sell. So write down the pair and buy or sell, and then write down the price. Now these two numbers are important, stop loss and take profit. So SL is stop loss, CP is take profit. Once you've written them down, you then go and find the pair. So you're going to look through for whatever pair that you have, and that last one was New Zealand dollar to the US dollar, so you're going to find that here. All that you do is touch in that, and you're going to find that pair. You'll find the quote, you'll find the quotes page. If you want to see the quotes, you'll find it by touching this icon on the app. The different icons that you see across here, well, let's just go through those so we've got them all for you. The different icons do different things. This next icon is to see the chart itself. That's if you want to read the chart. I've got to be honest with you, if you are brand new to trading Forex, that's going to look really confusing. I would ignore it for this moment in time. You don't need to know how to read a chart with this. The next icon at the bottom down here says trade. And that's going to tell you what trades you have. Now, when I set this app up, I set it up for one of my distributors, and it's a dummy account. So he hasn't invested £100,000 in there, or $100,000. It's just a dummy account that's set up there. That fourth icon is the history. And that's where you're going to see the list of all of the trades. As you can see from there, that's an empty history. Once you've actually got some trades in it, you can see one there, and that was one from last week, and you can see a number of trades, and you can see how much profit was there for the week on that one, just by touching the history button. And finally, the settings one we've covered in the past, but let's go back to placing a trade right now. So you're going to pick on the currency pair. So you pick on whichever currency pair it is that you want to trade, and then you look at the Telegram. Sorry, look at the Telegram alerts to see which one you have there. So make your notes, check on that, go back, choose your pair. Once you've chosen your pair, you click into the app itself to do the deal. If the pair that you see is not on this, when you first see this, set the app up, you're only going to see a number of pairs in there. These are what are known as major pairs. They split Forex pairs up into major pairs, minor pairs, and exotics. The majority of the trades are going to come through are just on these majors, but if they come through on the minors, if it's one that you can't see, you click on that plus symbol there. Once you've clicked on that plus symbol, you're going to get another list of currencies here, and the list goes down below there. So you just scroll for the one that you want, click on the plus sign to add it to your list, and then you go back into the list, and now you have your pair that you want to select. Click on that, and your menu is going to change to that, and it's going to say trade. Once you pick on your trade, you then get this. Now this is where this becomes really important, that you follow these really carefully. The first thing we want to talk about is your lot size. And I've had people asking me questions about what the lot size is and how much you should be trading and how risky it may be, this, that, or the other. The lot size is where you mitigate your list. When you first start trading, I would always advise people to be starting with what we call the smallest amount. We call it a micro lot. Lot sizes are broken down this way. One trade is one lot, but you don't have to trade with a lot of one. You can trade with 1/10 of it, which is called a mini lot, or you can trade with 100th of it, which is called a micro lot. So what you see there at 0.01, that's one micro lot, and that's the smallest trade that you can put on. From your point of view, that's the smallest amount of risk that you can take with your money. If you're starting and if you're funding your account at a couple of $100, which is the entry level for most people, if you're going to get started with a couple of $100, I would only trade at 0.01. That's probably going to allow you to make 20, 25 trades in the first instance before you could actually lose all of your money. What we don't want to do is place a trade where one lot can wipe you, one trade can wipe you out. So you place it with the smallest amount possible, because I've said before when I've done it on the mainstream presentations, not all of these trades win. Some win, some lose. Typically we run at 7 out of 10 win, 3 out of 10 lose. Now you could be really unlucky and the first 3 could be losers. And if you set this lot size too high, you could lose all of your money right from the word go. So this is where you mitigate it. If you set that at 0.01, that will not happen. So to start off with, set it as low as possible. And when we get to the end of the slides, I'm going to invite everybody to talk, and I'm going to have some of the more experienced traders give you their experiences, and they're going to talk about their lot sizes and what they trade at, so you'll understand exactly why. So start it really low. Now, if you're putting more money in, you've actually got more money into your account as you're funding it, you can trade with a bigger lot size. If you've got $1,000 in it, I don't see a problem with trading at 0.05, maybe even 0.06. If you've got a few $1,000s in it, and we have some people that have got 2, 3, 4,000 in, then they're trading at 0.2 and 0.3 of a lot, rather than 0.02 and 0.03. And these guys who are trading at 0.2, they're the ones that are making grand a week doing it, because they're taking a bigger risk with their money. It's a calculated risk. We know that it's likely to work out for them. But for the moment, when you first get started, find your feet. Yeah. So that's the lot size. Now the next thing is the stop loss. This is your safety net. So when the trade comes through, it's going to give you a price for the currency, which you can see here. My cursor moves. You can see here that there is a price, and that price will keep flickering all the time you're trading this. That's going to keep changing up and down. That's going to you're going to compare that to the price on the signal that the trader sent out to you, but then you're going to put in the stop loss. So you put your stop loss in there, and underneath it you put your take profit. Now what happens is, if the trade goes badly and everything goes against you, if this trade starts to lose money, the stop loss that you've put in is your safety net. When the trade gets to a certain point, the trader has said, take your stop loss at this level. When it gets down to there, MT4, the app itself, is programmed to take you out of that trade. It knows that you don't want to risk any more money than this, and it will take you out of the trade. It does exactly what it says. It stops your losses, and it just kicks you out. The flip side of it is the take profit. The trader has said, I think this trade is likely to reach a peak at this price, the take profit price, and at that point it may drop down again, so take your profits at that level before it falls down again. So the app will say it reaches the take profit, and it says, okay, once I've got to that, I'm satisfied, I want to take my profit out again, and it will kick you out. Now, some of these guys who've been on these calls for a period of time know my attitude towards Forex. In the first instance, when we first started to trade Forex, I was not an active Forex trader. I was quite happy with my cryptocurrency trades because my cryptocurrency trades are a long to medium term investment. We actually have a phenomenal crypto trader who's given us a number of signals that do not lose or have not lost so far. It's possible them to lose, but so far to date they haven't lost. And I was not a big one for placing trades on Forex. The reason I wasn't a big one for placing trades on Forex is because I didn't want to watch the charts, because I didn't want to risk losing my money and not being able to control it in time. The way these Telegram trades are coming through, I actually have my safety cushions there because I can put a stop loss in and I don't have to watch it. So what I do when a trade comes through is I put my price in, I put my lot size in, I put my stop loss in, I put my take profit, and then I forget it. I don't look at the charts, I don't look at the history, I don't look to see how it's doing. Because if I see that going into the red and I see it losing money, I just get knots in my stomach and I hate it. It's horrible. I can't stand watching losses. Yeah, and I'm tempted to say, let's pull out of it. But Forex goes up and down in waves, and it can change in a heartbeat. And I've seen deals where you can actually click and say, right, I'm going to get out of that one now. And you click to sell it, and then it bounces back up into profit. And you think, oh, damn, I've missed it. I can't deal with that. Emotionally, I'm not suited to it. So my way of dealing with it is place the trade, then forget about it. And I get on with talking to you guys, and I build my team, and I concentrate on my main part of my business, which is network marketing and building a team. The cool thing is these trades work, and they work phenomenally well. For someone who doesn't trade huge amounts, and I didn't put the money in, that the commitments in that Cynthia's put in or everything else, I made myself a comfortable 500 quid this week, and I'm quite happy with that because as far as I'm concerned, I actually have plans that are connected to our business, to grow our business, that £500 can do some really, really cool things for me, because that's going to fund the next wave of advertising to bring more people in. So once you've put in your lot size, you've put in your stop profit, you've put in your stop loss and your take profit, you just click on buy or sell according to the alerts. That's it. At that point, forget it. Now, I said before that I was going to stop this and open it up. So the trades themselves are really simple. You can see all of this all over again when I send the video out. I'd actually put all of these things on a video before. Now I can see all of these happy smiling faces. Sure, some of you are going to smile anyway. Right? Okay, good. So any questions, guys, particularly the newer people? So Femi, any questions? Patrick?
Ask a question, mate. Sorry to jump in on there. Just to double confirm, because obviously I want to get this right. So obviously you put your stop loss in, you put your take profit in, you put your lot size in, and then got some numbers which obviously say sell by market or buy by market. You then just click on whichever one it is.
You just click on sell or buy. When you say sell by market or buy by market, it's just literally the word buy or sell that you're looking at.
Yeah.
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 So you're just going to click it. The market price is set by the broker on the time that you go into the trade. When the trader sends the alert out, these things change almost instantly. They can change in a heartbeat. So when you actually put your figure in, or when the trader puts his figure in and sends it out, it could be completely different by the time you're reading it. And I've had people ask me this week, saying to me, I don't have, because of my job, I don't necessarily see all these alerts when they come through live. Well, an awful lot of us don't, because the majority of people have jobs that they have to do, and they're not allowed to have their phone switched on if they're with customers or whatever it may be. So you don't have to take these things instantly, but what happens is when the trade comes out, it has a price on it. If you happen to see it 2 hours later, click into the trade and look at the trade, and once you look at it, compare the price and see how it looks in comparison to that trade. Look at the stop loss, look at the take profit. If the trade is already at one of those two numbers, there's no point taking that one. Yeah. But if it's still a distance away and it's somewhere between the two, then you can still take it. You might not make as much profit as the people who saw it and got into it the second that trade came out, but you'll still make some money. Yeah. Or lose it if it goes wrong. And I really do have to touch on this, because I've spoken to a lot of people this week about this, and I really do want to stress that these trades lose as well as win. Yeah? And I don't want anyone expecting that you're going to win on every trade on this, because you're not. And I don't want anyone setting their expectations up into space. We were having that conversation a short while ago, Darren, online, about what you wanted to make out of it, and wanting to make £1,000 a month out of this is very, very reasonable. And Cynthia's the proof of it. Cynthia's making more than that a week right now. But it didn't happen instantly. Cynthia, if we went back 3 weeks ago, what were you making 3 weeks ago?
Probably just a few £100, you know. Yeah, at the start, very cautious, very small lot size at the start, making mistakes, losing a little bit of money, but that's part of the learning experience when you first start. Don't, think you might win everything if you stick with the trades and listen. And I'm like Tony, we don't listen, we mess about with it, so it's our own fault. If you be good and listen and follow, you'll do better. Yeah.
And I saw your trades coming through, and I saw you putting like £30 a day as your results in. Yeah. And £30 a day. Let's not sniff at £30 a day.
It's so good, because
£30 a day is 150 quid a week. That's £600 a month. That's a mortgage payment for some people.
Yeah.
That's a very nice car to drive around in. Yeah. £600 a month can be life-changing for people. So let's not get hung up on. It's cool that Cynthia's making £1,000 a week now. Yeah. Particularly since she's buying the drinks when she comes across. But it's cool that people are doing that, but 150 a week is life-changing for people. Yeah? And when you're going out and you're telling your friends about this, we have a product now that's transformed our business. You've seen how many people have joined us just this week. These last few days have gone bananas, haven't they? And you're seeing how many people are joining us and how many people are getting excited. And it's because we're getting the results and we're sharing the results. And when you talk to your friends and you tell them about it, you may have been involved in network marketing in the past with other companies, and you've spoken to your friends about it, and you hear people go, oh, it's one of those pyramid things, isn't it? And all the usual negatives that we get. We don't have to do this now. All you have to do is place the trades, make some profit, and then drop into conversation. This is what I'm doing, and take your phone out and show your trades and show your results. And when you show your results, Cynthia, how easy is it when you're actually showing results?
Yeah, when you have the results. I think when you speak to people, you're more confident as well. At the start, before Telegram came out, because I was worried about other people's subscription. If I if I'm willing to pay, but not everybody is willing to pay if they didn't have that extra money. So I didn't want to sign up somebody and they have to worry about not being able to cover their subscription and the alerts not making enough, because not everybody wants to build a team or recruit. So I made sure that even the products can cover their subscription, which I am confidently believe that with the Telegram alerts that we're getting, everybody can cover, even if they start off with a small account. And even like Tez, now you have a small account, so you know, with your experience, do you believe you can cover? I think we all can. Doesn't matter big account or small account. So once I seen that, I was confident to go start recruiting.
Absolutely. And we say that, and we said, Tez, you started with a smaller account, Tez, but but we were talking yesterday, today, and you said to me that 2 weeks ago you had 180 quid in your account.
Yeah, £180. Because I opened with the IC markets, I could do it on pound, rather than the dollar.
Yeah.
So £180, and I'm now at 440.
So, Darren, that sort of gels with the numbers that you were talking about. You know, it's in the space of a couple of weeks, he's more or less doubled it. But I don't want to promise it to anybody. I don't want to promise anyone who's going to double it.
Yeah? You could have a bad trade week and make 5%. But 5% is still better than the bank. So,
and Simon, I want you to tell your story, mate. I want you to tell people what not to do.
He's muted.
He's muted. Right. Can't unmute you. I can't unmute you. Is there something wrong with your phone? Okay, right. Give me a nod and just tell me if you're okay with me telling people the story that we were talking about.
As he froze.
It looks like he's frozen. All right. I'm gonna leave Simon's story out because he's not there. Oh, he is moving.
I'm unmuted.
You're unmuted. You are now. You can hear you now.
There you go. Sorry, guys. So yeah, my story is really simple. And Darren, I suppose this is a good one for you. And Cynthia will probably laugh, and Tez will probably laugh, and Roger laughed. I got a little bit greedy, I suppose, and you know, I saw a trade that I thought was going to be really good. So I'd noticed something that Jonathan had been doing, Jonathan Rutherford, who's doing amazing stuff. And I just replicated one particular trade 5 or 6 times very quickly because I thought it was going to go well. And I blinked. I jet washed my car. I was actually outside jet washing my car when this happened. I didn't tell you this, Roger, but I suppose it makes it even more funny. I was lathering my car off, and I thought, I'll just check my phone and see what's going on. Bang. And before I knew it, I'd gone backwards to the tune of 200 quid in a blink because the trade went the wrong way because I was greedy. And we'd only had the conversation the week before about sticking to what the trades are, and Cynthia's learnt it, I've learnt now, and we will all learn it, but you're going to learn it even quicker, I guess, everyone that's new, because we're telling you what not to do. I'm now just going to stick to what comes through. I'm going to stick with what they say. I'm going to keep my lot sizes sensible, so I know I can put my lot sizes up, which I know is what Cynthia's done now, and hence the reason then you make a lot more money. But I think even at 0.01, 0.02, 0.03, you can still make money. You can still easily make the money, Darren, that you were talking about with these trades. I'd say on a good day we get 10, 12 trades, 7 or 8 are winners every time. So the losses, you do have to keep your eye on them, but you know, my story is play safe and don't go in too big too soon.
And I have to just sort of repeat, Simon's not on his own with that. When Simon told me that story yesterday, I laughed for a different reason, because I'd had a conversation with Jonathan Rutherford last Wednesday before our call.
Identical.
And the trade that Simon lost a couple of hundred quid on, Jonathan Rutherford was on exactly the same trade and thought exactly the same thing. He thought, I'm making a fortune on this. I'll do that one again and again and again and again. The pair of them, The pair of them placed the same trade 5 times. Yeah, it was the British pound against the Japanese yen. Yeah, and there was a vote about Brexit, and Theresa May lost the vote, and the markets dived. You wouldn't think it would affect the Japanese yen, the pound against the yen, but the pound dived. And when the pound dived, Jonathan wasn't washing his car. Jonathan was watching it, and he was going, shit, and he was hitting his button, and he couldn't close them fast enough. And in the time it took to close 5 deals, he lost.
Is that Darren laughing?
Sorry?
I had to tell my missus.
I don't know whether Jonathan's told his missus. He's taken her to Bangkok right now to just try and keep it quiet, and I'm broadcasting it.
He was all right.
But he lost $2,000 in minutes. Right? And I've seen other people do it in the past, and it can blow them out of the business. The moral of the story is simple, and this is why I said to you about the way I trade. The way I trade is very simple. I'm the world's worst. I hate to see myself losing money. So when I place the trade, I just place it, and then I ignore it. And I look at my results. If my phone pings and I've got an alert, I'll put the trade on. And then at night, before I go to bed, I'll just check and see how much I've won. And if it's lost, it's lost. I can live with that because I know some are going to lose. So if it's closed out and it's lost, well, that was bad luck. That one happened. But if I actually have to see it and watch it going down, I can't take it. My stomach, I can't deal with that one at all. I don't want to see it. It's a bit like if you go to the doctors and you've got to have an injection. You know, I'll turn my arm. I don't want to look at it. Stick the needle in. I don't want to look at it. Yeah, and this is the same thing for me. So understand that you're going to make some wins and you're going to make some losses. The wins will outbalance the losses. Yeah, and the results, you've heard the results. And we had a few people posting results earlier on the day. Tez said, he didn't give the percentage, but £180 turned into 430. Graham, 37% profit over the space of last week. Was it 37 or 34?
37, I think.
37, and yours was 34, Cynthia. So the results speak for themselves. I'm going to do something right now for the new people that I did last week, and I think a few people were a bit surprised last week, weren't you guys?
Mind blowing.
I'm going to show you. So let's share my screen, and help if I open a window first of all. Let's open Chrome. I want to show you just how powerful this is. The important thing, in my mind, is that you need to get your 3. If you get your 3, you're going to save yourself $200 a month. So that's the one. Right. You're going to save yourself $200 a month, and saving yourself $200 a month doesn't sound like the biggest thing in the world until you see what I'm going to show you right now. So,
and Roger, you know your compounding tool. It's a very, very good tool for prospecting.
Oh, I know it is. Oh, I know. So, you go to a website, and it's called thecalculatorsite.com. So make a note of it, guys, thecalculatorsite.com. Once you get to that, you've got a list of various calculators that you can have, but the one that we want to focus in is this one, the compound interest calculator. And I'm going to show you just how powerful compound interest is. Albert Einstein calls it the 8th wonder of the world, and who am I to argue with Einstein? So let's just close that little bit down there because it's distracting me. So I'm going to leave this in dollars for the sake of it. And I'm just going to talk about $200 a month. If you go out and sponsor 3 people, your subscription is paid for you. Cynthia's done that this week. Yesterday, Cynthia qualified as generator. So now, from now on, Cynthia doesn't pay for her subscription to the product just because she shared it with 3 people. And Cynthia's just said to you herself, it's much easier to do when you've got the results to show people. Now, I asked people how much profit they were making for a reason. I wanted to know percentages, because when I got percentages from people last week, I wanted something to put in here, and I hate putting in big numbers. So this is a monthly interest rate we're going to talk about. It says annual interest rate here, so I'm going to multiply by 12 the number that we're going to use. But we talked about 37% from Graham. We talked about 34% from Cynthia. We talked about much more than that from Tez. But those are all just based on 1 week. I want to talk about a month, and I want to use something that I know that everyone will achieve come what may. And I'm going to work on just 15% a month, not a week, 15% a month. So if we multiply 15 by 12, that gives me 180 for a year. And I'm going to work on a 5-year period here. And we're going to work on you putting £200 a month. Instead of paying £200 a month to Cavera for your subscription, you're going to put it into these trades and trade it. And every month, instead of paying a subscription, you put another £200 into your trading account and you compound it and you let it roll. I'm going to do it as 60 months rather than as 5 years, because it looks better when I show it down here. So let's just do this. So we've got $200 a month at 15% a year, 60 months, and every month you're going to put another 200 in. Simple as that. Hit the calculator button. This is what this is worth for you. In the space of the first year, you will actually have saved, person put in $2,400. But $2,400 will have been working for you because it will have been earning at 50% a month. So 200 there. In fact, it says 2,600 because in 12 months you've actually got your first 200 plus another 12 200s. But that's actually turned from 2,600, it's turned into 7,760 at just 15% a month. If you roll that on to 2 years, by the end of 2 years, you've actually put $5,000 of your own money in, but at 15% a month compounded, that's now turned into $48,000 that you have in your account, and every month you're trading it and growing it at 15%. Anything more than 15%, take out and spend it. Go and have a good time, enjoy yourself. Knock yourself out. You can afford it on this, I promise you. Because by the end of 3 years, you've now left £7,400 in, plus it's continued to grow. It's made over $250,000. In fact, it's at $263,000 after just 3 years. By 4 years, you've just topped the $1 million mark there. And by 5 years, it's actually gone up to $7.5 million at just 15% a month. Now, this is all you have to do for this is trade each alert as it comes in and just let it roll. But by the end of 5 years, you've got that. But look at this line here, because this line here is how much interest that made that month. It actually made sorry, the interest it made that month was there, rather. It actually made £990,000 profit in that 1 month, which took you up to that. So you got $7.5 million, all from just trading $200 a month and leaving it in. My point is this. My point is, find your 3 as quickly as you can, because right now you're spending $200 a month to get these alerts, and it's worth every single penny of it. But when you can do what Cheryl's done, what Cynthia's done, and when you can go and speak to a friend and tell a friend about it and do a friend a favor and show a friend how they can make some money, then you get the opportunity to get yours for free and then put some more money in and let it grow. And it will grow and grow and grow. And I know I got some surprised reactions from people last week when I saw that. And Cynthia went absolutely bananas. And went out and started talking to everybody on the planet, and now she's qualified as a generator within a week, so she's not actually paying that subscription anymore, and she's actually put more money in. She's made a grand last week just from trading, and the future's looking very, very rosy indeed for her. These things change in such a spectacularly short space of time. 3 weeks ago, Cynthia was making 30 quid a day. 3 weeks ago. And every one of you can do the same. Any questions, guys?
I'm lucky. I know I want to go in my life.
If that doesn't tell everyone what they need to know, it's crazy. As we saw last week.
All right. But any questions about setting your trades up? Any questions about setting up the technology that you're not sure of and you didn't get it clear? Anything from anyone?
Oh, Roger. Yeah.
Okay.
Roger.
Yeah.
I've got a question for Cynthia, if I can.
Okay, Tony, go ahead.
Okay. I just wanted to ask Cynthia how many trades does she place on a day, on average?
I place, well, my account is a bit big, so I place all the trades. Whatever trades come out, I place them all. But if you have a very small account, I would not suggest placing all of them. Maybe Darth Vader, his performance seems to be the best, so I would say if you had to pick his.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I'd actually echo that, to be fair, because even if you're trading in micro lots, if you're trading in 0.01, I know what you're trading with, Tony, you can afford to place them all. Yeah, but if you're placing at 0.01, unless you were going in with a $200 account, then you really at anything at 0.01 you can afford to place them all, and you're just maximizing your chances of winning on them. If you're going to place less, then yeah, Cynthia's right. Take Darth Vader's trades, and when they come through, he's the guy who just has a killer success rate. Last week, 1,450 pips in 1 week. That's just mind blowing. You know, we had professional traders working for us before. Barrow was paying $5,000 a month, and they weren't delivering that result in 6 months, let alone in a week. So places trades.
Whenever we had the convenience tool, that wasn't really working very well.
That was really fast.
That's because Jim was asleep, I think.
Yeah.
So he was laid back, so laid back he was comatose.
I've noticed on some of the trades that Darth sends through, we just a lot of them last week, I think it was, he did close them before the take profit, but he sent the alert out to tell people to close it or protect it, which was great. But if it's got a because they was moving so fast, it was so volatile what he was following, and it just went straight up to a nice profit, and he took it. So, you know, you can do the same. Everyone can do the same. If you're happy with your profit, then take it.
Yeah, and I would do exactly that. If you get an alert that says take your profit now, usually it's because he knows it's likely to turn and it's likely to fall again. So take your profit whenever you're told to. But the instruction is just literally exactly what Simon said. If you get that instruction, follow that instruction, and just stick to that instruction itself. You don't need to read these charts, guys. You don't have to be experts. What these guys have learned, it's taken them years to learn that. You're making profit from it like next week. If this is your first week, you'll be making profit from it next week. And by next Wednesday, it would be nice if some of you can say, I'm 2 days in and I've made, because on last Wednesday's call, I had Hugh on from Belfast, who'd never placed a trade until last Monday.
Yeah.
And by Wednesday, he'd made 500 quid profit. So you guys get to place your first trades tomorrow. It would be cool to think that by Wednesday, you're saying to me, Roger, I've made, and if you've made £100, tell me. I'd like to hear it, because I'd like to show people that someone who has just got started can make £100 in their first 2 days, because that's reality. You know, showing people £1,000 earners and everything else. I actually had to, at one point in time, I had to stop Simon Brooks telling people, because he was making 16 grand a day.
Yeah.
and we had to sell it. That's not real, mate. People can't relate to that, and they're just looking at it and saying, but I can't do that.
He sent me a photo. I don't know how long, but 20 grand turned into 30 grand. I don't know how long it took him to do that, but yeah, impressive.
Yeah. But he's got the 20 grand to start off with. You know, when we first started trading Forex, when I put my first funds into Forex, and I was cautious of it, so I put 250 quid in. I thought, we'll give it a go with 250 quid, we'll see. Simon put 2 grand in. 2 days later, he decided to top it up to 40 grand. Now, no one else can do that. So the 250 quid stories, and we see Dor, who started with $250, and now she's making 400 a day. You know, those are the stories that excite me, and those are the stories that will excite new people listening to the call. So when I can see you guys, and if you're telling me this Wednesday that you've got something to share, I'd love to hear it. We get to by the following Wednesday and you've got a full week of it, I'd definitely love to see you guys telling your stories. Let's hear new people hearing stories from new people making money. Okay, just before I wrap up, last thing I do want to touch on. On the 28th of this month, you probably heard Simon say it till he's blue in the face right now, we've got an event coming up at the Mercure in Haydock. Guys, if you're new to this business, you've got to come to this event. It's going to be the best event we've ever put on to start off with, because way we always do these training sessions, we go across, we're flying some top speakers in from the States. We're going to fly in one of the top people in the cryptocurrency market. This guy had made $18 million for himself personally in the last 4 years in cryptocurrency. And the last time he came across, I picked him up at the airport, and I had an hour solid where he was getting nowhere because he's sat in my car, he can't go. I was finding everything I can find out. And after the event, I went across to Liverpool, and we got him out of bed and nailed him down in his apartment and kept him there as well to get as much information as I could. You have to meet these guys, and you've got to find out what they know, because what they know is mind-blowing. Yeah. The event's at the Mercure at Haydock. So for the likes of Barry and Terry, it's going to take you all 20 minutes to get there, guys. So some of you guys, it might take a little bit longer. Cynthia's got to get on a plane, but even Cynthia's going to be there because it's mind-blowing. And Graham's thinking, yes.
Is anybody from London? Is anybody coming up from London and has spare car seats? Has seats?
I don't know, but if anyone is coming, if you're coming from any distance, find out if you can team up, or better yet, put other people in your car. Do not come alone. Tara's got a 7-seater. She's loading it. Yeah. So bring other people with them, because I promise you now, if you bring people who have not yet seen this and put them in the room, I will blow their socks off with the presentation when I have all these people stand up and tell them how much money they're making, and you guys can be amongst them telling them how much money you're making. You'll have no problem getting you 3. And finding 3 people saves you $2.5 grand a year to start off with. And Graham's sick of hearing this because he can't get home from South Africa that easily. I will try to record it, Graham. So, but come to the event. If you're going to stay the night before, then we're also going to have a party in Simon's room. Simon's hiring a suite.
Gonna wreck the place.
Sorry?
Wreck the place.
Yeah, so we're going to have a party in there, because last time, there was a party in there last time, but it was just me, Simon and Julie, and some red wine. So this time we're going to have a party. We've got a comedian in there. We've got Junior doing a stand-up act. So we will have an absolute ball, but you will meet some incredible people. You absolutely have to be there. Tickets for that are selling out fast. If you book your ticket, if you haven't already booked your ticket, if you book your ticket this week, in space the next 7 days, it's half price. Ticket's 10 quid for this next week. After that, it goes up to 20. So if you haven't booked it, get it booked right now. Places are going fast, and the capacity in the room is limited. So we need to get them booked as fast as we can for you. All right, guys, that's it. This has gone on longer than this normally does.
Just a couple of questions, please.
Yeah.
When do we expect to get the first signal coming through? Is it Sunday night, Monday morning?
No, it won't be Sunday night. Typically, the Australian markets will be opening any minute now. But our traders are in Mexico and Latin America. You may get a signal. We occasionally get a signal on Sunday night, but it's unlikely. And tomorrow morning, by the time we get up in the morning, they'll all be fast asleep. So expect to get to sort of midday and beyond before you start to see the first signals. But Monday's usually quite a busy day, so the signals will start coming through thick and fast by tomorrow.
Okay, can I just ask one question? You mentioned about your earnings to pay for your advertising to get more people.
I haven't even started on that yet. We're actually working on a system. Simon and I are working on a marketing system that's about to be released shortly. We've had some technical delays on it, but it's something that we're going to roll out to the team. But I'm going to be working on a system to drive people to our websites to recruit more people. It's a different subject for this call tonight because this is really is a getting started one.
Sure. Okay.
But when we have this new system in, I'm going to show you a way to advertise and fund it yourself and actually make the advertisements self-funding. But as ever, Mr. Brooks and I want to sort of start things with a bang, so I want a chunk of money to throw at advertising. So right now, the Telegram trades are paying for a chunk of money to go on one side, so I can actually start with a bang rather than a whimper.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, guys, so that's it.
Sorry to be a pain. I know it's getting on late on a Sunday evening.
Sorry?
I know it's getting on late on a Sunday evening. Just one more question regarding the event.
Yep.
You said there's a cocktail party of some sort on a Saturday?
That's at Simon's room, yeah. Basically, the plan will be get there on Saturday afternoon. Yeah. The hotel has a spa facility. Yeah. The jacuzzi is quite small. Tez and 3 others, and that's it. He's happy then. It's empty, but no one else is getting it. But there's a pool, jacuzzi, sauna, everything else. So we're going to get down. We're going to have a bit of chill out time, and then in the evening we're all going to whiz down the road for a meal. Going to find somewhere good to go for a meal, somewhere better than last time, Tony. And once we go and find somewhere else for something to eat, we'll then pile back to Simon's. Then it's party time, and we'll see whether Simon and Julie just sort of chuck us out when they get tired or whatever happens from there on. But it won't be my room that he's making a mess of. So
the tickets as well. I think for a few more days they're still at £10, aren't they? But
that's what I said for the next week.
Yeah,
tickets are at £10. Then they go to 20. All right, guys.
Thanks, Roger.
Any questions? You know exactly where I am. Plus your questions in the group. I answer as quickly as I can. These other guys will also answer to help you as well. So we'll see you all on Wednesday. Invite as many people as you can to that Wednesday call. And please also remember, if you get any kind of results in these next couple of days, I don't care if you're just getting started, if you win 50 quid or 100 quid in the next couple of days, tell us about it and let's have that on so that we can actually show people starting and making profit right from the beginning. All right, guys. See you soon.
Thank you, Roger. Bye.
Bye, bro. Bye.
Bye.